Hello, hello, mamacitas, señoritas, bonitas, um, papacitos. Shoot, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? I see that some of you guys are already in here. I appreciate y'all. And you know, I gotta get Instagram up and running. So hi, Miss B Love. I love the series that you're doing. It's so informative. Keep it up. Thank you for everything. You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing your words of encouragement and affirmation. It means a lot. I'll tell you guys, my voice, I need to start drinking some tea. Like all this talking really does wear down on your throat. I can only imagine how Beyonce feels. That volume in your hair. Thank you. As my hair gets older, the volume gets, it gets real. Sometimes it's like out of control, but I love it. So let me get Instagram together for today. There we go. All right, and we're live on Instagram. I always forget that I need to type in the title. Oh, yes, y'all. Everybody introducing themselves as sisters. I love it. How to solve excessive shedding. Hi, Sunshine Curls. How are you? Hi, Cutie Pie Shantae. Oh, that's a pretty name, Shantae. All right, let me pin this comment. All right, perfect. Instagram, you're up. Let's see. We're actually going to be talking about that tomorrow. Cutie Pie Shantae says how to grow my hair. I actually have multiple YouTube videos on that, actually. So I will watch those first, and tomorrow we're going to be talking more about that. So let's see who's here on YouTube. We have Misty Blue. Hey, girl. Melissa Richards, Capturing Beauty. Ashley Anderson, Hope E. Brown, twin mom. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, Shania. Hi, Jay. Hi, Shauna. Hi. Oh, my gosh. That's interesting. Hi, Latte Princess. Carolina Norwegia. Michelle T. Hi, live for the first time. Hi, Michelle. Tracy Tamaris. Hi, everyone. On Instagram, I see Mac. What's up, girl? Let me see. Oh, Instagram. You know what I need for Instagram? I need like a charging dock so you can sit straight up. Right now, I literally have this whole contraption going on. I'm going to show y'all on YouTube. Let me see if I can show you. That is how I keep my phone up for Instagram. But okay, so I think enough people have come in. Yeah, we've been on for about 3 minutes. Perfect. So we are going to go ahead and talk about shedding. Now, this is something that you guys seem very excited to talk about, and I'm excited because y'all are excited. Shania says this is the topic I was thinking about this morning. So what I would love is if you guys could actually, you don't have to do it now, probably towards the end of the live. Just with your questions, because I really want to make sure this is kind of comprehensive and I'm hitting on the things that you guys are really struggling with. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. My name is Kenya and I am the Curl Coach. Really what my mission is and what my passion is helping women heal through their hair. I help you learn how to master your hair and truly know your hair. Having healthy hair is not something that just happens. It's very intentional. It takes time. For me, it's taken years. I've been natural for about 10 years now. And probably around year 7, 8 is when I was like, okay, I got this. No, probably year 8 was like, okay, I got this. And that's 8 years, that took some time. So I basically want to help women get to that point because through learning my hair and going from what was such a burden to now something that's kind of now it's just natural. It's freed me up to bring my purpose into the world, which is this platform. And I want to help you guys do the same because we all have something to give. We all have innate gifts and talents that we truly need to share because we help others grow. Like right now, I'm doing this for you all because this is my gift. And I actually just got off a call with a client, a coaching client, a hair coaching client. And something that she's really good at is creating healthy meal plans and educating people on how to live a healthier lifestyle. out. And that's something that I need. So you guys have gifts that I need. I got stuff that you need, and we all share it together so we can rise as a collective and be our best and highest selves. So that's what Power in Your Curl is all about. So today we're going to be talking about shedding. How much is too much? Excuse me. How much is too much? And I want to start with that question first. So really, shedding is very personal. Only you can really say how much is too much. But what you should know is that with curly hair, you know, our hair sheds just like straight hair does. The only thing is that when our hair sheds, it gets caught and trapped in our curls. So if your hair is shedding on average about 150 to 200 strands per day, and then you're only detangling thoroughly your hair like once every 7 or 8 days, you can only imagine how much hair is being shed that's only finally coming out on wash day. And that's why most of us on wash day we'll have like a little clump of hair. How big depends on, you know, it really does depend on you. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, it's to be expected to have a lot of shed hairs if you're only really detangling one day out of the week. So let me give Instagram some time to get back. I hope they come back. I'm trying something new on Instagram because I know my connection has been a little wonky. So I'm trying something new. But as far as how you really, whenever you're looking at, like, if you're trying to determine, am I shedding too much? First, you want to see if you're experiencing breakage and shedding. Because if you're experiencing breakage, then that's something that you can control. Shedding, you can't control. It's a natural thing. Every single hair strand goes through a cycle of like growing, resting, and then shedding, and you can't stop that. But breakage, you can. So how you know the difference is a shed hair is usually long and has like a white bulb on the end because it comes from your scalp. And so you can kind of rest easy if it's a shed hair versus breakage if it's like short pieces of hair, like really small, maybe even medium length hair that's shorter than your actual hair length, then you know it's breakage. So in that case, if you're shedding too much, really you're shedding and you're breaking hair off, and you want to solve that breakage issue, which I already have a video on that you can actually go back and watch on my channel about how to solve constant breakage. But if it's shedding, then you're kind of okay. Really, it's just making sure that it's a normal amount. And so how you understand that, because everything is personal, is you want to actually monitor your hair, I would say over the course of about 4 to 5 weeks. And you want to see, like, do I lose the same amount of hair every wash day? Around the same amount of hair. And you want to also make sure that you're washing your hair the same amount of, like, on a consistent schedule, like you want to make sure you're washing your hair every 7 days, basically, because the longer you wait, the more hair you're going to have. So make sure that you're washing your hair every 7 days, and then look at how much comes out. You can even save it. There was a time when I thought that I was shedding way too much, and I would save my hair from every wash day for months. I was actually going to do a video on it for you guys, and I just never did it. I might still do it. I've kept it just in case I decide to do it, but I saved my hair so I could see how much hair is normal for me, because it's very personal, and it's also going to be more hair the longer your hair is. And then once you see that after about 4 to 5 weeks, notice and look at your scalp. If you're not noticing any thinning, if you're not noticing any balding, if your hair looks full still, it looks like how it usually does, then you're fine. You're not shedding too much. This is just what's normal for you after 7 to 8 days of not combing, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. But if you do notice something, like, say on the first 2 weeks you had like an amount that was like that size, which I think is pretty generous. Say you had an amount of hair that shed that was about that size, and then on week 3, it like bumped up to double that size, there's something going on. And then if it kind of stayed around that size or it went back to small, whenever you notice more than usual, that's when you want to be worried, when it's just more than what's usual for you. And in those instances, here is how you can evaluate what's going on. So I see Instagram is popping. Cool. All right, cool. So how you evaluate what's going on, there could be a number of reasons why this is happening, and I'm going to touch on a few key ones in this video. It could be something that you're doing externally, or it could be something that is happening internally that's outside of your control, or something that you can control internally. So externally, what it could be is maybe you've been doing protective styling a little bit too much. um, and your hair is now weak. Like your hair has become weaker than normal. Your follicles have become stressed because you have the weight of like the hair extensions or the weave on your head. Maybe you kept some braids in a little bit too long and your hair is weaker than usual. Anything that would weaken your hair. Let me see if I can think of anything else. Anything that will weaken your hair, or you just being very vigorous in your detangling. Like maybe you're just you're ripping through your hair. You don't have a good conditioner that adds a lot of slip and makes it easy for you. Um, you really, products do come into play when it comes to detangling, because you should never just be ripping through your curls. That's definitely going to cause some issues later down the line. So vigorous detangling. Also, I've seen people over detangle. I used to be one of these people as well, because my thing is, oh, if something's good, I'm going to do it all the time. But you have to have balance in everything, even the good things. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. And over detangling, like detangling your hair at every step, is completely unnecessary, and it causes way more problems than it really does any good. So you want to just look at like, how are you approaching your hair? Are you doing too much? That's usually physically what's going on. You're doing a little bit too much in some department. Someone asked, could it also be a product causing the issue? And I think in very specific cases, it could be. If you notice that like you introduced this one product into your regimen and then things started changing, which is why it's really important that whenever you do something, um, which is why it's important whenever you do something new in your regimen, you do it slowly so you can really evaluate how it's affecting you. You could have like an allergic reaction to the product that could be causing like stress within your hair environment. I don't want to say like products cause hair to fall out. It really could just be how you react to that certain product. Unless you're using some type of chemical and it was left on too long, or like you got your hair color treated and now your hair is again way more brittle and things like that. So yes, that could definitely be a factor. So those are pretty much all the physical reasons that I'm going to touch on. If anything else comes to me, of course, I'll bring it back up. But more often than not, shedding, like excessive shedding out of nowhere, quote unquote, is usually internal. And it can happen for so many different reasons, especially as women, because our hormones change throughout, like just depending on the time of the month. Like when you are on your cycle, your hormones are changing, and that can cause more hair shedding than normal. When you're pregnant, of course, we all know that, or we, most of us probably know that postpartum shedding can happen once you birth your baby and your hormones again are changing. So that could be a factor into why you're experiencing like changes internally that are going to show on the outside. And I'm just going to pull up some notes so I can make sure I'm touching on everything I want to talk about. Yes. So shedding can actually happen when you're pregnant as well, not just pregnancy. Okay, perfect. So another huge contributor to hair shedding is stress. Michelle mentioned it in the comment, and yes, 100%. Stress is it can be a really big factor into hair shedding, because I mean, as Black women, things can just be stressful. Like, let's just be honest about it. Like, so many things in our home, outside of our home. Sometimes we're dealing from stress that we don't even understand or realize that we're causing because of like maybe our upbringing and just things that we haven't healed yet, that we've been living with forever. I don't want to, yes, I do actually. Like, I know for Black women, like, you know, thyroid issues and things can be like a very like prominent theme, like having those issues. And your thyroid, I'm not a doctor, but I've done a little bit of research on it. Your thyroid system is also connected to like your adrenal glands, which your adrenal glands kind of regulate how you respond to stress. So a lot of the times being overstressed literally wreaks havoc on your organs, and it shows in your hair. And it doesn't even have to be like super severe stress. Like, it can just be situational stress. Like, say your birthday is coming up and you're just stressed about, what am I going to do for my birthday? So for a month, you're way more stressed than normal. Your hair is falling out. Maybe you're moving. You could be going through like a divorce or like a really like trying life transition, and that stress is going to show in your hair. So I feel that it's important to take these things seriously when you start to notice like thinning and balding in your hair, because this is your body telling you something. If you kind of exhausted all the physical reasons of why this could be happening and it's still happening, you really want to go see a health practitioner, a holistic doctor, a standard doctor, whoever you feel comfortable with, to kind of just get like a checkup. Um, and you can really just ask yourself, like, kind of like look at your lifestyle. And when you notice the shedding started, what was going on in your life? Um, were you experiencing any transitions? Was your diet good? Sometimes we can get so stressed that we're not eating healthy, nutritious foods. We're not taking in water. We're not getting our vitamins. Michelle mentioned this as well. So it's really important that you are getting your nutrients. Most women do not get all the nutrients that they need from food. And if you're not taking a multivitamin along with just the intake of food that you take in each day, you have low nutritional levels. So something that you can do, which I actually just got done last week, I need to check up on my results, is I got my blood work done to get a really good view of my nutrients so I could understand, like, where could I do better? Like, what vitamins am I currently lacking? Sometimes, like, if you're lacking vitamin D, like just getting out in the sun can be helpful, although the sun doesn't really give you all the vitamin D that you need. But what I'm trying to say is taking care of yourself is important. Drinking water is important. When you're dehydrated internally, you're also going to be dehydrated in your skin, on your scalp, and it's going to be harder for your scalp and your follicles to do their job when there's no moisture. Like, the body is made up of over like 70% water. So you really, really need that to stay healthy. And I also like to mention that your hair is not a necessary part of your body. When your body is dehydrated or malnourished, it's going to send nutrients to the organs that need it most, the organs that keep you functioning and keep you alive. And so your hair is kind of gonna get left out of the party. And that's when you start to see like brittleness, severe dryness, really, really dry scalp, thinning, and balding. And that's why it's important to take these things seriously. So let me see if I talked about everything. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, the last thing I wanted to say too, a common nutrient deficiency that Black women can have is iron deficiency. So if you're anemic, or you feel like you're anemic and you're not currently like taking care of that, iron deficiency can definitely cause like your hair to thin. It can cause hair breakage because you don't have enough strength in your hair to maintain your length. And again, that just goes back to nutrients. So I'm going to look through the comments. That's pretty much what I wanted to share. I think it's really important for this lesson in particular for you guys to just take time and look over your lifestyle, look over your hair regimen, look over your techniques, and be honest with where do you know that maybe it's not where it should be. Where can it be better? Where can you improve? You're really going to have to rely on your intuition and just self-awareness to kind of solve this because it's very personal from person to person. So I'm going to look through the comments. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're going to go for about 7 more minutes. So I want to answer questions that really contribute to what we talked about so it can be as like helpful as possible. Someone says, I had the smallest ball of shedding ever today. I did take my time this wash day. That's really good. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as getting a detangling routine down, having a good conditioner, a good detangling tool. I know when I stopped using combs, oh my gosh. Me and combs, no, I don't let I let like rat tails touch my hair. But wide tooth combs, hell no. They do not touch my hair because they literally rip my hair out. When I started finger detangling, I noticed way, way less shedding. And then once I started using the Felicia Leatherwood detangling brush, I noticed even less shedding because my fingers would still kind of sometimes like pull hair out of my scalp. And another way that you know this is happening is when you finish your wash day, if your scalp feels sore, you need to kind of tweak your detangling routine because that's letting you know that you're pulling the hair out of the follicles. That can happen where you're just so hard-handed. You want to have gentle, soft hands whenever you touch your hair so you aren't pulling out hair unnecessarily. Let's see. Devin says, I can't wait for tomorrow's live for retaining length. I can't wait either. That's one of my favorite topics to talk about. My curly ends pop off all the time while I'm washing my hair. I see it in the bathtub all the time. Thanks so much for doing this video. You're welcome, Tina. I would definitely recommend looking at that constant breakage video because that's something that you can rectify. Let's see. I find hairs wrapped around my fingers just from refreshing. I see breaking and shedding. Misty Blue. I would love to hear after you kind of go through all of the reasons why this is happening. I would love to hear like what you think it is. Because Missy actually sent me some pictures of her hair and like just the change that she's been experiencing. And yeah, we definitely want to jump on it. We want to see what's happening. Let's see. Isn't your hair supposed to shed a few strands every day? Yes. Yes, it is. Your hair sheds a lot. You have hundreds of thousands of strands on your head. It may not look like it, but we have a lot of strands and we shed hundreds every 2 days. Like hair it's in a constant cycle of growing and shedding. I've increased my water intake and it's making a difference. I love to hear it. I love to hear when like positive things are happening with hair because it really lets people know that it sometimes the solution is very simple. It's just taking care of your body. As within, so without. If you are not taking care of your body, you can't expect your hair to look healthy and look taken care of. Like your hair is growing from you. You got to take care of this. Like I have an affirmation on my mirror that says nothing good can grow if you don't nourish your own soil. And that's true in every aspect of life, in business, in relationships, in hair care, and everything. You got to nourish this right here. This is the temple. How to get over the feeling that you haven't detangled enough? I love this question. Having a shower mirror is very helpful, capturing beauty. So if you're currently detangling blind, like in the shower with no mirror, you're just using your fingers. When you are detangling in front of the mirror, you'll be able to see like when it's actually done, not when you feel like it's done being detangled. Also, you can kind of, when you're looking in the mirror, you'll also be able to know like about how many pulls through with my detangling tool does it take for my hair to get just detangled enough, meaning you can run your fingers through, there's no shed hair coming out, and that's after that you're good. And then give yourself a limit. Like for me, I know sometimes I can go through with my brush a little bit too much, so I'll give like, let me see if I can kind of show you guys a section. I'll take a section of hair. This is about how big it'll be too. So once I get from the roots, excuse me, from the ends to the roots, I'll then go through here, 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 and here. And that may seem like a lot for some people, but for me, like that's like a little bit. And then after I get every side of the section, I just leave it alone. I don't try to keep going over and over and over again. You shouldn't be trying to like define your curls, or your hair will never fully be detangled because we have curly hair, number one. So it's going to curl up like almost immediately after you finish detangling. And if you try to get every single shed hair out every wash day, you would really cause over manipulation. So it's kind of just retraining yourself to know that it's okay to not over detangle. And then once you move on from that and do your styling process and you kind of go through a few wash days where you don't over detangle, then your brain will know, okay, I don't have to go that hard. It still worked out even when I just did like a light detangling session, light, quote unquote. Let's see. Thank you, Caramel Cube. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you mentioned this. I mentioned it, but I don't think I spoke specifically about going to a dermatologist. Again, if you try everything physically and you're still noticing thinning and balding, a dermatologist is like, I will probably, after getting your nutrient levels run, if that's still not the issue, I would go to a dermatologist to see what they say because that's their specialty. Yeah. Perfect. I love everybody sharing the knowledge in the comments. Instagram, is finger detangling better than using a comb or a brush? It really depends on your curl type. Finger detangling I find is really good for people whose hair, it tangles in a web because really combs don't address that webbing. So finger detangling helps you break through the web, kind of like get all the hair going in one direction. And then what I do is I finger detangle, and then after that, I use the Felicia Leatherwood detangling brush. This isn't just like any brush, like it's a brush specifically made for curly, kinky, coily hair that not only detangles, but it also kind of silkens at the same time. excuse me, which makes every step of my wash day easier after that. So that also helps a lot with shedding and breakage for me. But you just want to try and see what works best with like your curl pattern and the density of hair that you have. Um, but it can be gentler finger detangling just because you can actually feel your hair going through the tangles. Is there such a thing as over conditioning? Yes, there is. You would have to really work and like overdo it to over condition your hair. So things like deep conditioning overnight every single week, wearing a shower cap to bed like multiple days out of the week. Just anytime you're leaving your hair wet for extended periods of time and you're doing that a lot throughout the month, that would lead to over conditioning. My hair is growing crazy long, no shedding, just insane growth. I'm anemic and take doctor prescribed iron pill. I wonder if it's from blood thinners I take. That's really great. I'm glad that you're having good results. And thank you for joining the live resume workshop. I love that. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Hi. Okay, so happy Thursday, Conscious Beauty, Kristen. Okay, let's see. We're gonna wrap it up. I have just started, excuse me, I've started finger detangling. I don't get as much shedding. However, do you recommend detangling on wet or dry hair? Absolutely wet hair. Yes. So I like to kind of refrain from like saying you can't or can do something because everything is personal to you, every single thing. But the majority of people should definitely be detangling on wet hair simply because your hair with curly hair, it's easier to work through when it's wet. You have to be more gentle when your hair is wet because the strength of your hair actually decreases when it's wet, but wet hair helps hair slide past each other. So single strand knots a lot of the time, and like shed hairs that get stuck in your hair, it'll more easily slide out when you're detangling like right under the water stream because the water and the gravity are helping you detangle, not just the force of your hands. So wet detangling. Unless you're someone who your hair just really prefers to be dry. I notice that people, for me, with super tangly hair, it has to be wet. But I notice for people who don't have super tangly hair, they can sometimes do it dry. So my only blood level out of range was ferritin, not iron. Okay. I'm digging these live sessions. Thank you very much. You're welcome. It looks like I got all the questions. Someone asks, did you post on the live the deep moisturizer? No. I don't think I did on the last live, the deep moisturizer. I don't think I did. Yeah. Do you recommend the Felicia Leatherwood brush for kids? I recommend it for anyone who struggles with detangling. If your detangling routine is already like good, it doesn't take you much time to detangle, then I wouldn't mess with it. But if you're someone where you spend hours detangling, like I used to spend 6 to 8 hours, y'all, like, wow, it was a lot. So I would recommend it for people who just need help. The Felicia Leatherwood brush, I couldn't even tell you how it works per se, but it just very gently works through tangles. Like the way they designed it and the way you're supposed to properly use it, it just really helps. And I would watch my updated wash day routine on it just to see it and see if it will work for you. With anything, you want to do research and, just try it and then send it back if it doesn't work, if they allow that. I am going to be doing a video on DIY home remedies for like growth and things like that. So look for that in the next upcoming live. But I'm actually going to go ahead and go, you guys. So I'm going to share a little bit of something with y'all. Vernon is currently, he went underway, which is basically, it's not like a deployment, is when they go out to sea for a couple of days. So he just got home today. I'm about to go to the base and go pick him up. But this is his last underway. Things are changing over here. I'll probably do a video on it, but this is his last underway and I'm happy to have my husband home. So I'm about to go pick him up. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thought you were going to do link retention tomorrow. Yes, yeah. I'm going to do link. I was actually just about to say that. I'm going to be doing my live tomorrow on link retention. And I'm really going to try to, I've talked about this so many times. I'm going to try to come from like a new angle. Like, I don't know what it's going to look like, but come with questions, basically. So thank you guys so much for the love. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. I love y'all. Thank you for the good vibes. This live really uplifted me, and I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'm going to peace out over here on Instagram. I'll see y'all later. All right, perfect. Thank you, Hope. Thank you for recognizing. I appreciate that. Also, I want to say, send this to people. Like, this is really like community healing. This is for women who want to see results in their hair. So, if you know someone, maybe your mom, your sister, your friend who needs help with their hair, send these videos out to people and bless them with some knowledge for the day. But I'll see you guys tomorrow.